Coutts today, and the presentations have been spectacular. And one of the highlights was this gentleman right here, Dennison, who I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, my story is that I've been a constable, or was a constable for 24 years with the Calgary Police Service, and I couldn't abide by their mandates any longer. So I decided not to do it, and they suspended me and put me on an extended LOA, or ordered me off, whatever they wanted to call it, and charged me with 2 internal charges. So another thing that they did is, because I was speaking out, they decided that they would give me a cease and desist order so that I wouldn't be speaking out, especially while in uniform like in my video. So I couldn't abide by that either, so I finally resigned so that I could keep speaking out for freedom.
And so why was it so important for you to actually take a stand and speak up?
Well, it was important for me because I thought all along that this was wrong. I thought that dictating what you put in your body was wrong, and then with me being a police officer, making me go and charge people for not wearing their mask and for not abiding by mandates, it was wrong. And I just couldn't stand by any longer and allow my position to be used that way. And the same thing with all these officers here. They need to realize that they have a line in the sand that they can't cross either. And they need to know that this is a free-loving, peaceful demonstration against all these mandates and what the government has done. And I think we're getting more and more police officers standing up now.
So what was the breaking point for you? Because I know a lot of people, well, they have a job to do and they're being given orders, but those orders for some are unlawful. But yet they're still here. And if there was a message, how do you get through to those people who believe still in what they're doing and upholding these orders?
Well, I think that every police officer has discretion. So when they're given orders and deep down they know that they're wrong, they're obliged not to follow those orders. And that's what I've been saying for the last, months now. I've been trying to tell them and let them know, and they know this already. But I think it comes down to your personal decision, and some of these officers out there are for us. They are for what's happening here. They might not be as visible or out there or as spoken as maybe me and some of the other people are, but they do believe in what's going on, but they're just taking a little bit more of a laid-back approach. Now, I would say to them again that any unlawful orders, you cannot obey those. You cannot.
Just here this morning, we had some police officers handing out tickets, to people just going around in the little slow convoy like this for having not wearing a seatbelt. I mean, I know these are just tactics, right? They're intimidation. But on Wednesday evening, they had RCMP literally come from the north, come from the south. And that is truly very militarized intimidation tactic. Where do you see things going? Do you still see things escalating, or do you see things de-escalating at this point?
Speaking about them coming from the north and the south, I think that's, to me, that's posturing. They're trying to show that they're in charge, when in reality, the people of Canada are in charge. We're not doing anything illegal here, so they can't do anything. So that's the thing, is they can posture all they like. And that comes from the bosses. Speaking of, like, if it was in Calgary, that would come right down from Chief Mark Neufeld. And that's what they have to deal with, is they need to start standing up for working against the people, because they're here to support the people. They're here to protect the people. So I think that's coming up. Whether they're gonna start standing down, I can already see that a lot of them are. A lot of people are coming forward, a lot of cops are coming forward, and they're saying, no more. Like, this has gone too far.
So if you had a message for Canadians, the people who are coming out, and for some people who are staying away because they're afraid to come out, what would that message be?
Don't be afraid. I've said this a long time now. Do not be afraid. Because when they try to scare you, you stand up even more. That's bullying. We don't stand for that in Canada. So come on, guys, come on out and support everybody else. Support the truckers, support people that just want their freedom back, and support the people who are going against the government, because they work for us too. So it's time to pull back their reins and take back control of our country.
So the systems, I think the systems are broken, not only political, but we need some revisions in pretty much our education, our health, our law enforcement. This is just the beginning. And where do you see things going from here? Because taking back our freedoms, you spoke today with George, this is kind of we're drawing the line in the sand, but when everything kind of the dust settles, we have to reestablish, we have to keep our freedom.
Right, and I think that comes down to every single Canadian as well, is that we're clawing back our freedoms that were slowly taken away from us, and we need to remember that we stand up and we are true Canadians, and we will keep those freedoms. Never again will we allow what has happened to us to happen again. We won't sit back for 2 years until finally everyone decides to get off their ass and do something, but we will be upfront and we will make sure that this will not happen again. And those that are going to be held responsible will be and should be. And that's part of Canadians as well. We need to hold those responsible.
And so if there were two things that you could change in law enforcement as far as the training that people go through right now to make sure that they do understand what their duty is and who they're responsible to and what their oath means, what would it be?
I would say review the charter. You get taught that when you're in recruit class. Remember, the charter is the most important thing. So our Constitution, our rights and freedoms, review that, because that's what they're doing. That's their only job, is to make sure that document is upheld in society. And when they're able to arrest somebody, everything comes down to the charter. You got to give everyone those charter rights. And the same thing with us here, we have charter rights as well. But I think Canada, if we don't continue to do what we're doing here, continue to stand up for what we really believe in, and stand up for our country, we'll never get it back. So in training new rookies, I think that's the biggest thing that has to be done in training them. And I would go to the top of most of these organizations, like Calgary City, get rid of that chief. He is no good. The way he has gone and trampled on people's freedoms, why is he a leader? He should be gone. So should a lot of the other ones. Start bringing up people who understand what Canada's all about.
Fantastic. Are you going to be running for any positions anytime soon?
Well, hey, you know what? I would do it for sure, but I don't know. We'll see.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you very much.